Hello everyone, I'm Chef Sumit Samadar and our today's topic is Indian cuisine. So before we start about Indian cuisine, we need to understand what are the influences which has impacted the food habits of India, what are the internal factors and what are the external factors. So India, as you can broadly see, if we divide it over here, we have four parts or four regions, which is the north, the east, the south, and the west. Now, before we study about all this, we have to classify the influences or what are the things which has influenced the Indian cuisine. Now, in and around the world, you take any cuisine, you take French cuisine, you take Italian cuisine, or you take British cuisine, or even in any other cuisine around the world, you will see that there are certain factors which will be common. And if you identify those factors, it will be easier for us to understand the influence on the particular food of that particular place or region, and to understand the subject also. So when we what are the factors? Broadly, if we divide, we have two factors. First one is external, and the next one is internal. So we have basically two factors which divides which determines the food of the particular place. So we have external factors and we have internal factors. So when we are talking about external factors means that if we are talking about Indian cuisine, as we are talking about Indian cuisine today, we have to consider what are the neighboring countries and how they have influenced us. For example, if you go over here in the north, you will see that we have countries like Pakistan, we have countries like Afghanistan, which has given a impact. On the other side, you have China, which is also China and Tibet, which has given a impact down to the eastern side. Even if we go to the further east side, you will see that we have Malaysia or Indonesia, countries like that, which has an influence on this. Down south, if we go over here, you will see that the food has been highly influenced by Sri Lankan cuisine, or you will see there are a lot of similarities of the food which is cooked in Kerala or Tamil Nadu with Sri Lankan food. Okay, now if you are going to the west, again we have the Arabian Sea and we have the other countries like Maldives and all, where there is a influence or India has influence. So that is one factor which has to be considered. Other than that, in the external factors, we have to see that what are the countries with which India has been at a war or has been with a relationship in the history. So if we study history, we will be easily able to understand the cuisine of a particular place. Now we all know through our history books, or when we read about Indian history, that Indian cuisine is very rich, very varied. It starts from north to south, east to west. Every place, every region has some specialty of their own, and it has been highly influenced by the countries or which has came over here in India and dominated us. That starts with the Mughals and with the Portuguese, with the British, even the Chinese also, who came and settled in Bengal, as a result of which in the chili chicken or the so-called chow mein what we get over here is a high influence dish which has come from Chinese. The momos which we find every nook and corner in and around Bengal, that has been influenced by the Tibetans settling over here in Bengal. So taking it as a whole, these are the external factors which has influenced. When we are talking about the internal factors, we are going to talk about what are the factors which has influenced inside our country. So internal factors are for example, we have the culture, the ethnicity, the religion, soil, availability, to name a few. So what are the things? So I will explain you with examples so that it's easy for all of you to understand. So for example, if you're talking about north, okay, and if you're talking about north, and if you take a place called, say, Kashmir, okay, now Kashmir has a very rich culinary history. If you check into Kashmiri cuisine, you will find that as it is being situated in the north, it is very cold throughout the year, and people in the colder region always tends to have lot of red meat. So you will see lot of lamb is being prepared over there, lot of non-veg like chicken is being prepared over there. But again, when you are coming to the down south over here, if you are talking about say Tamil Nadu, or if you are you will see that the temperature over there is relatively humid and hot throughout the year, as a result of which the food over there is lighter in taste and is not as rich compared to Kashmiri cuisine. Again, another factor what we have to talk about is, as I said over here, religion. So again we are going to take the example of Kashmir. Now in Kashmir, the maximum population over there is about the Kashmiri Muslims, and the rest of it is the Kashmiri Pandits. Now in both this religion, it abstains a person from consumption of pork products. So as a result of which, what you will see is that you will never find any dish which is prepared out of pork or pork byproduct in Kashmir. Whereas if you are coming to the west part, and we are taking an example of Goa, where the religion is Christianity, the maximum religion, most of the people over there are Christians, and it doesn't abstain a person from consumption of pork products. You will see that lot of pork based dishes are there, for example pork vindaloo or pork jalfrezi, etc. Okay, so that is a geographical location and the religion, how it plays a role. If you are talking about the soil over there, so each and every part of India, which is a very large country, the soil culture differs from place to place. In some areas, for example in Gujarat or in Punjab, the soil is not good to grow paddy, as a result of which you will see lot of grains grows over there, like for example maize, bajra or wheat. But when you are coming to the eastern part, which is next to the coastline, and there are a lot of rivers and all, as a result of which the soil is good enough for the growth of paddy, as a result of which you will see that eastern side of India, people consume lot of rice into it. Other than that, we have the availability. The local availability of a particular place always influences the food habit of a person. So if say for example, if you are talking this part of India, we take the west, we take the south, and we take the east, this part of the Indian subcontinent, you will see that there is always it is next to a water body. That means in the west we have the Arabian Sea, we have the Indian Ocean, we have the Bay of Bengal, and it has distributaries and tributaries. That means there are rivers. As a result of which, in all these places you will see that there is a high influence of consumption of seafood. Different kinds of seafood or river fishes are being very much common. Where if you are comparing to a place called, say for example Madhya Pradesh, or if you are talking about Rajasthan, you will see that less fish or seafood is being used. Other than that, what are the other factors or other varieties? Now it is as I said, I am repeating again, that India is a very rich culture. The style of eating the food, the spices which are being used in certain places, every state or every region of India will definitely have certain spices which are going to make it identify to that particular place. In Indian cuisine, we use lot of turmeric all over India. We use garam masalas like for cinnamon, cardamom, cloves. India has a very rich history of spice. It was once the spice capital. Kerala was very famous for producing different kinds of spices, whereas Kashmir is the highest producer of saffron, one of the most expensive ingredient in the whole world. So India is very rich in different kind of spices, but the way the spices are being used varies from each region to region. For example, we have in Bengal, we have a very indispensable spice which is used in almost all Bengali cuisine, which is called Pachforan masala, which is combination of 5 spices which is being used in making our food. Whereas if you are talking about Kashmiri cuisine, they have a spice mix which is called var, where different kinds of spices are being grounded and made into a paste, and then it is being dried up, and it is used in different kinds of gravies and shorbas. In Indian cuisine, like in West, when we are talking about European cuisine, different kinds of sauces plays a very important role. In Indian cuisine all over India, the most of our food are based on a gravy. So gravies plays a very important role over here. We have several kinds of gravies which are used in different kinds of food. We have yakni gravy, we have shorbas, which are also a very thin gravy and is sometimes or most of the times is served as a soup, or whereas we have thick gravies, for example shahi gravy where cashew nut paste is being used, almond paste is being used. Then we have makhani gravy, out of which we get the world famous dish as butter chicken, which has also come from India. Other than that, we have the green gravy, and down south you will see that there are many gravies. Like for example, if you take a dish from Kerala called Meen Moili, over there fish is being served on a gravy which is based on coconut milk. So all and around, if you see that different kinds of gravies, different kinds of soil cultures has highly influenced the people residing in each place. Their religion, their ethnicity has influenced the Indian cuisine. So to sum up this chapter, after I have at the end of the session, along with my lecture, there is always is also attached a PowerPoint presentation which you can always go and check, and you will see different pictures which I have attached along with it, and other details which I cannot showcase over here, of course. So just before I end this topic, I'll sum it up. So we are talking about Indian cuisine as a whole, which has a very rich and vibrant culinary history. It has been influenced by several countries which has been adjoining, and by the place itself, that is India itself. Different factors has influenced when we are talking about Indian cuisine. For example, the culture of India, the ethnicity, the religion, the soil, the availability of the ingredients has highly influenced. Other than that, Indian cuisine has different kinds of sweets which is being served. Every place you go, you will find a dessert which is very unique of their own. And in today's world, in the modern day, all over the world, Indian cuisine has been praised, is being taken as one of the most unique cuisine because of its amalgamation of different kind of flavors, different kinds of rich spices which grows all over India, starts from your saffron to your cinnamon, cardamom, cloves and other spices. So I would like to end my topic over here. Along with this, I will suggest all of you to go and check the PowerPoint presentation which has been attached with it. So thank you so much.